Blynd Submyshynz, where DIY bands submit songs for us to listen and react to blind. Every week, we'll bring a guest from the underground music, arts, or entertainment scene to help you sort through mountains of new music. We go in blind, so you don't have to. Blynd Submyshynz.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to
Another episode?
Oh,
Blynd Submyshynz?
I think that's what it's called. Blynd Submyshynz.
What a stupid name.
We are Wild Stallions.
Oh, yeah. Wild Stallions.
Hey,
Blynd Submyshynz.
All right.
That's why we open like that every time.
That's a tight intro right there.
That was
super tight.
Good. That was fucking tight.
And you know what else?
What?
Your mom's kind of hot.
Oh,
Sorry, just doing not Winter World, some Wild Stallions jokes, some Bill and Ted jokes. Except it was Cindy, right? Cindy's kind of hot.
Well, it was your
dad's girlfriend.
Your mom or your dad's girlfriend, yeah. But it was like somebody they went to school with, right?
Yeah, of course.
She was a senior and they were juniors or sophomores.
Oh, what a movie! What a movie! Ooh. Well, here we are.
Do you know what?
Again,
Maybe I don't know. Have we ever even explained? I mean, it's not the time to explain right now, maybe, but
what's a short explanation?
I bet people don't even know that the whole aesthetic, the whole name is all from that movie.
It's all from Bill and Ted's.
All inspired by that. It is supposed to be corny, cheesy, funny, goofy. It's Bill and Ted's.
Well, there now you got the very complicated and detailed explanation. One night we were sitting here and going, "Oh, Blynd Submyshynz. Oh, we could make it look like Bill and Ted's."
Yeah, let's do some Y's and some backwards Z's.
Yeah. Because what is good in music other than backwards letters and random capitalization?
Dude,
it's the best.
Yeah, well, V's is W's.
Corn. Sorry, I got to get one in early because we missed last episode.
I'm pretty sure we missed out. I know. I'm surprised Justin didn't call us out.
All right. Corn. Hey, I picked a bunch of music today.
Why?
So I say we get right the fuck into it.
Oh.
And then maybe even like listen to start earlier listening to music and get a couple extra songs in.
Ooh, we could do that.
Because there was some good stuff.
Yeah? You're not supposed to listen to it first. How do you know?
Oh,
damn.
Well, so I have, because I have two Bandcamp picks. So those I know actually a little bit about because you read about them. Yeah, as far as the submitted music, I don't know what the fuck we have or whether it's good or not. But for the Bandcamp picks, there's some fun stuff.
Believe me, if we were listening to the submissions ahead of time, there's a lot of shit that wouldn't get on the show.
Yeah, probably. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
All right, so today's guest is
who is it?
None other than Doug Walker. Doug is a multi-instrumentalist, drummer, guitar player, bass player, singer,
songwriter.
Probably, yeah. He's currently in two bands who have records coming out on Glory or Death Records in the next year or so. The digital records are available already.
Nice.
He plays drums in Call of the Wild, and he is the mastermind behind and guitar player for a band called Monarch. And also, he hit me up, like a month ago, and he's like, "Hey, I have this idea, recruiting people who want to, if anybody wants in on it, I want to re-record a bunch of Ted Nugent songs, but do like rewrite all the lyrics as like hard left, super progressive lyrics." And I was like, I'm in. Let me know what song I get when you need bass for it, because I'll do it. So he actually just posted the very first of those on YouTube. So roll the dice. What do you want to hear? Monarch? Ooh. Do you want to hear Alexandria Ocasia Nugent? A little bit of Call of the Wild, a little bit of both. Here, let's listen to a little Alexandria Ocasia Nugent just for the fun of it. This is up on YouTube on Doug's channel if you want to check it out yourself. And this song is called Stormtroopin'. And I'll share my screen because the picture's too perfect. That's good Photoshop work. Said socialism's coming and you better be prepared. So I think you probably get the drift there. And then
let's listen to some Monarch too.
Yeah, let's listen to some Monarch. So this record is coming out. Well, it's already out digitally on Glory or Death. Vinyl will be out in February of next year, thanks to the year slowdown in vinyl production all around the world. And then we'll go ahead and bring Doug in and have a quick chat. So this is the song Future Shock off of the album Future Shock. Fucking amazing.
It's quite some artwork.
Cover art done by Mark Sasso, who did the album covers for Dio, Killing the Dragon, Master of the Moon, and a bunch more. You know, it's like a sweet ass orc on a cybernetic hog motorcycle thingy. It's bad as hell.
It's a good description.
Welcome to one and only Doug Walker.
Do you recognize that sweet solo?
Yeah, you recognize that shit?
I probably should, but off the top of my head.
Who's that band?
Who is that? I like them.
I've been so immersed in like fucking Nugent shit for the past month. That's like all I've been listening to.
Is little Ted Nugent? Oh,
yeah.
Is it wearing on your soul? We played a little bit of the Nugent cover too.
Oh, it's that was recorded before I got to do hardware, and I went last night. I redid the drums and played along to the original track, and now it's tits.
Spot on. All right. Well,
yeah.
we'll put a fresh link up when you post it.
Nice.
Well, it's like my whole attitude is I want to get to sound as much like him as possible, because I figure if I'm gonna piss him off, I want to really piss him off.
Yeah. Make it sound great.
It's got to sound exactly the same, just different lyrics.
I've had the argument so many times, because I love his guitar playing, I love his music, and but you know, his lyrics are such a bummer. You know, you listen to it, it's like, did you really have to? Oh man. So it's like, but I know a lot of guys, and it's like kind of a guilty pleasure. So I always said, yeah, he's a dipshit, but you can't take his guitar playing away from him. And then I thought, well, what if you could? So,
you could.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun, and I've got some different people sending some tracks in. I got Marky from Zeke is doing a solo on a song. And,
oh, sick.
Yeah,
we're doing an episode with him in 2 weeks, so we'll be recording him.
Yeah. I know he did that. I know he did the Thin Lizzy thing too, and like killed it. But,
he did.
Yeah, and then Mark Diamond from the Dwarves is going to do a track. I'm trying to get the guys from Turbo Negro to do something on it, just because I know they're staunch liberals, and they love, you know, this it's such a middle finger. It's kind of up their alley. We'll see. Basically, there's a lot of people who want to say "fuck you" to Ted Nugent, apparently. So
yeah, especially right now, he's made kind of an ass of himself in the last year or so.
I mean, in the last 25 years or so.
Yeah.
Really, let's not split hairs.
Yeah. The problem with all of that is that this whole process of making an ass of themselves has become the business, right?
Yeah.
The business model is there's enough people who want to consume that.
Yeah.
You know,
but they're just happy to vomit their nonsense into the void because there's enough dipshits that will spend money on it that they can survive.
Trapped. It's making a career out of it. Like, I can't remember the last time I heard about them until like last year when they started just making the singer guy that I don't know. But like, I couldn't even tell you. I think I know what one of their songs sounds like, but I know all about the band because everyone talks about them because he pisses everybody off. And
I couldn't name.
Oh, you could.
I couldn't name a singer.
There's one song. There is only one song, and it's called Headstrong.
Yeah, it's like
did you play it once?
if you heard it, you'd be like, "Is that Papa Roach?" I don't know. It's all the same shit. You know?
They wished at the time, and they are like rich boys from right down the street from like one of the richest zip codes in all of California.
Really?
They're Los Gatos boys.
They are.
Yeah, the fucking.
Of course,
Trapped was a local band.
Yeah, well, and they were at the Cactus Club watching Papa Roach, going, "Oh, we should do that too."
Whoa.
Fucking ugh. That's
interesting. I mean, that does make sense. Palo Alto, is that what you said?
No,
Los Gatos. That makes sense too.
Yeah.
Both of those, both make sense.
I was so upset. I actually baited their singer on their Facebook because they had to remake their social media because they got scrubbed, and so they have a new social media page. And I made a comment and actually baited their singer into responding to me. I'm like, "Oh man, you fucked up because like I got the time to fuck with you, and like you know, who the fuck am I, right?" And then someone was like, "Oh, that can't be your real page. It's only got 1,000 followers." It's like, "Oh shit, I got trolled," so I deleted it. And then I went back and looked. I was like, "Oh no, that's a real thing."
That was
like,
the Facebook page has a rainbow flag in the background.
He tried to make some big spiel about, "I'm sorry, I see the errors my way," and then 2 posts later he calls some trans person it.
Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and maybe they're not making a living off of it because the hilarious. I mean, first of all, if you fuck with him, the first thing he's gonna do is post a screenshot of their average monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which is like, who fucking cares? Well, and then that first week the new record came out, they sold 600 copies.
I heard about that, and from what you're explaining to me, it sounds like he's probably living at the parents' house anyway, so he doesn't need to make a living.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah,
whatever. Fuck that, man. Let's move on.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. That was a lot of talk about trap.
That was a whole scene.
Way too much.
There was another band
talk about Korn
called Dredg, DREDG, that like popped up at the same time.
Were they local here too?
Yeah, that was local.
I think I've seen somebody local post about that.
And then I want to say that Taproot was local also, although that one I'd have to look up. But I mean, what a fucking holy trinity of trash.
To be honest with you, I didn't even realize Taproot was a band. I always thought it was a fucking microbrewery.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Taproot. Yeah.
So
see, I'm from a different place. Our local bands, like we had like My Morning Jacket and Slint. You know. Like,
yeah. That's right. You're San Diego, right?
No, I'm from Louisville. I live in San Diego.
Oh, you're Louisville.
Oh, yeah, I grew up in Louisville. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You've got all the good alt country bands.
No, that's Nashville. We got all the weird, like, indie rock, hardcore bands.
Yeah, so it's normally we save it to the end, but we're here now. So what
we're here now.
So what was it like growing up in Louisville? What were the hot bands besides My Morning Jacket, which is obviously somebody interesting to.
So Louisville we had our own little punk rock hardcore scene with bands that toured and record labels and stuff like that back in the 90s, and our big label was called Slam Deck, and Slam Deck worked with Discord a lot. So we got a lot of crossover with DC hardcore bands, and we got a lot of crossover with Chicago indie rock bands from Touch and Go, like Jesus Lizard and Shellac and stuff like that. Yeah. So we were kind of this weird conduit. But Louisville's a weird place. It's like a giant bubble where everyone is in a big hurry to give you a middle finger. You know? And so there are a lot of bands from Louisville that are really good and they'll do okay, but they just, it's not about being successful. It's just about creating chaos. So, a lot of bands don't get heard of outside of that town. Like there's one called King Horse that was huge. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. If you
what are they called? King Horse?
King Horse, yeah.
King Horse.
No.
Yeah, Glenn Danzig produced their stuff. And
oh, really?
Big deal, whatever. But again, you don't hear about a lot of it. You hear about Slint, which is weird, like post.
Slint's great.
Yeah, you hear about Slint. You'll hear about My Morning Jacket. We had Endpoint when I was growing up.
Endpoint?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Like straight edge hardcore bands like that, and that was pretty much it as far as like big national acts. I could name a fucking dozen local bands that no one's gonna know about besides me and like 10 people that follow me on Facebook.
Who is your like all time favorite?
Out of local or just
out of local, even if nobody's heard of them.
There was a band called Bush League, and they were this really cool crossover hardcore band, and they had really good groove, and they were like the first band I ever heard that used blast beats, but it was sparing, because it was back in the day when DRI was first doing blast beats, and they were just really, really heavy. And I actually got to play for them at their reunion like 20 years later, and that was really fun.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
Wow. So I just did a quick search for Bush League on Bandcamp, and I don't think I've ever done a band search that yielded so many
results
with
try
the same
Monolith.
name.
Try Monolith.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Try Monolith.
Yeah.
And I might have said Monarch when I meant to say Monolith a few minutes ago before we listened to you, which is some shit.
Happens, and there's more than one Monarch.
There's 2 Monarchs in Southern California alone.
In San Diego, so there's 2 Monarchs that get confused with Monolith, who gets confused with all the different Monoliths. It's just
It's crazy.
I should have picked. It wasn't supposed to be a band name. Like it was just supposed to be what I was calling the project while I was recording it, and then eventually it stuck, and I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're calling it.
I guess that's it. Yeah. Actually, one of the Monarchs, isn't that Casey Trask and those dudes that played Vakken? They won the Battle of the.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They went over to Europe and played a show and came back.
Yeah,
I came back.
Well, I met the bass player a couple times, Alex.
You met the old bass player a couple times.
So is he because there was beef on? He was like he went hard right on the old socials at some point last year.
He's always been hard right. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't really talk to him because like at one point he was dating a good friend of mine and I kind of hung out with him, and then they stopped dating, and I saw his political point of view long before 2020, and I was like, we can respectfully just not fucking talk to each other.
Yeah,
that would be great. And
not agree to disagree. Just don't talk to one another.
Like it's probably my mom always said if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So how about I just never talk to you again because I can't think of anything nice. Anyway,
I can't say anything nice.
Oh yeah,
so,
I straight blocked him. One exchange on Facebook, and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need that in my life.
They got Gabe playing with him now. Gabe's he's a very good bass player. I'm not going to compare, but
what else has he been in?
He was a bunch of bands down here.
I mean, North County's San Diego in general, but North County in particular just has so many fucking bands.
So wait, did you just?
Go ahead.
Did I just what?
My brain is just catching up.
Yeah.
Did you? The band is not Monarch.
It's Monolith.
No.
It's Monolith.
That's what I just said.
So when we did the intro, okay.
I'm going to go in reverse, and I'll dub over it. I'll go, Monolith.
Monolith.
And this is Doug's band, Monolith.
I think that would actually be funny when they're listening. They'd be like, oh.
Dude.
Hey, as long as someone's getting a shout-out, it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a screen share, a big picture of the album cover? No, you're
staring at the album cover.
Sweet.
See, your logo just needs to be more legible. No.
I'll tell you what, I wish our logo is like,
you guys have...
Yeah, we were Metallica off. We're legible as fuck, man. You can't miss it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, apparently it wasn't legible enough for us because we couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't get it right.
Yeah,
I look at that and I was like, Monarch? Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, that says Monarch.
They got a good logo, too. They don't got one of those sticks on the ground logos, thank goodness.
Oh, shit. So, wait. I think I fucked up even bigger.
You did.
Should I send you a link?
Bad.
Yeah. So hey, Monarch on Glory or Death Records just got some free play from me because my brain is fucking fried, and then Doug's gonna send us a link, and we're gonna together listen to.
I mean, it's on Glory or Death Records.
I know, I know, and
if you're on the Glory or Death Bandcamp, you're literally just one letter away from us on the roster.
Yeah, no,
on your own label, sir.
There we go. Hey, I've disavowed any knowledge of that label years ago. That's all Buddy's fault.
I think this was maybe even better than my fuck up.
Oh yeah,
Amy.
I'll tell you what. I'll take credit for Casey Trask guitar playing any day.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Casey playing guitar.
I cannot play guitar like Casey. But shout out to that man because he is a bad motherfucker. Yeah.
All right, so now with you here, we're gonna listen to your actual band. Although
let me get this straight. Let me get this. You're gonna pull me on a podcast and make me listen to my own shit.
Right?
All
exactly.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
So tell me about your inspiration.
And that's why I didn't even recognize the fucking song when it came on because it wasn't his.
Well, if if you want the honest answer,
You recognize that? Nope.
This entire record was pretty much fueled by cocaine.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I did it when I first moved out here. I didn't really know anybody. I'd been touring with the Hookers, and I kind of wanted to move out here and start a metal band. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do songs and send them to singers and get vocals put on them, and then just see if I can find people. And the one singer ended up doing all of it, and then I basically recruited a band and put it all together. All this stuff, like, I didn't have shit to do with the lyrics. That's all Aaron. But I can tell you who I was ripping off on the songs. That's for sure.
Sick. All right, so which one should we listen to?
I consider Pyromania the best song on that.
All right, let's do it. Pyromania by Monolith, featuring Doug Walker. Oh, we talked about Call of the Wild, too. I didn't get everything wrong. I just got one key piece of information.
Yeah. Just the solo project, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, our brains are so fucking fried. The first 5 minutes of every episode is just like we scrapped the beginning last week and started over.
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. Yes.
Why is it still playing Monarch?
I don't know.
Because my computer's broken.
There we go.
Broken.
Oh, this is not going home. That's fine. That's a good song too.
Now we're going Pyromania. There we go.
Yeah.
Got it right.
That's like that is some straight up jumping through the window of my souped up '67 Camaro.
I'll take it.
I'm getting hit in the road and peeling out.
I was going for bottle rocket fights in PBR. That's what I was
Yeah.
Oh. Bottle rocket fights in PBR.
There we go.
Yeah.
I picture a skateboard for sure. Like that's a song in a movie where the punk kids beat the shit out of somebody with their skateboards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the image is actually that's a layout for a J card. So when that was a cassette, the binding folded over on the spine of the cassette.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a spiral notebook.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. The guy who did the art, I was like, just imagine you're 16 years old, you've never touched boobs, you fucking love metal, and what would your notebook look like?
You drew all over the front of your notebook?
Yeah.
Well, we got snakes, we got
pretty much it right there.
Vikings with their eyes shot out.
Yeah. Flying V guitars.
Badass
knives.
Swords.
Monster woman.
Oh, yeah.
Some flying... Ooh, is that a Psy?
Probably.
Psys and ninja swords.
Brass knuckles, yeah.
This kid drew this and then had his first wet dream that night.
Yeah. and now he's probably a senator.
Probably.
Yeah.
And that kid is Devin Nunes.
Yeah. And that kid was Matt Gaetz.
Oh no! There's one person I'm sure it's not. Is definitely not Matt Gaetz. Although I'll never tire of Matt Gaetz' Beavis and Butthead photoshops.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. They go really well with the Trump boys.
Boys.
All right, so there we have that. We have that all sorted out.
There you go.
We know what band you're in. So another thing is, I remember you posted up at some point, and I asked you to dig it up. I couldn't find it. The list of beyond your bands, the bands that you've played in, kind of either on tour or filling in on a record, or I remember it being a really long list of.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm a giant whore, and I just realized I know.
You're a go-to.
Yeah,
go-to guy.
and like you know, I'm a grown ass man that has never been married and I have no kids. So when the guys can't go out, I get the call.
Oh yeah, I mean? Makes sense.
Because I am a loser. I don't have anything to worry about. So I'm like, oh, take 2 months off of work, maybe pay my bills when I get back. Let's go.
Done.
Yeah, so fucking sign me up.
So let's hear like the on the spot, two ends of the spectrum, like a really fucking kick-ass, gig where you were kind of filling in, and then one that just turned into a complete nightmare or was not pleasant at all.
I mean, when I was younger, a lot of the stuff that I did was like, well, okay, so when I first started playing professionally, when I was like 21, I joined a band, or 20, I joined a band where I was the youngest guy about like 10, 15 years. Ooh. And those guys knew their shit. So that's how I got introduced to touring and recording and putting out records. They've been doing it for a long time, so it was like college. And while I was doing that, I'm still a 20-year-old guy, and all my friends are 20-year-olds. And they're like, hey, come out on tour with us. I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. I'm going out. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. What are you doing? But this is the days, like, I toured with a ska band.
Oh.
Ska comes up again.
Yeah, like, third wave ska back in the late 90s. And the guy who booked the tour booked it in AOL chat rooms. This is how long ago this was.
Very nice.
And come to find out, most of the people he was booking were like these, 13, 14-year-old kids. They're like, yeah, come play my backyard. And the first time we went to was in Cleveland. We were supposed to play Cleveland. So we pull up to the place we're supposed to play. And it's like, a neighborhood. There's a garage, whatever. And it's just this fucking 14-year-old girl and her little neighbor 14-year-old friend girl wearing way too much fucking makeup. And I was like, okay, this is really uncomfortable. Now, turns out, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Copland, where there's neighborhoods that the cops live in.
Yeah.
This was one of those.
Oh, gotcha.
So the first note rings out to the marshal, and 3 doors across the street open up, and out come uniformed police officers. And we're like,
uniforms? They just happen to be wearing.
Not on my watch.
So we're like, fuck, obviously we're not playing the show and making, the money we were talking about. So our tour manager, which was the guy who was with us that didn't play anything, started getting on the phone to try to find a venue. So he's like, all right, I got this place. They're going to pay you like $200 to play for 4 hours. It's like, cool. We got 35 minutes of material.
4 hours?
4 hours?
We can make shit up, whatever. So we go.
Just jam.
And it's I don't know if you've ever been to Cleveland, but there's a part of the city called the Flats down by the river. It's
never been.
It's like I guess it's where everyone goes out. It's where the nightlife happens. Oh. So there's this place called Pat's in the Flats. It's a little gay bar. So we roll in there with our ska band, and like, no big deal. We'll play a gay bar. Fuck yeah! I hope you guys like Upstrokes, because here they come. And we got like 2 songs into it, and this little drunk man comes up to us and it's like, "Can you guys play any Chumbawamba?" And we're like, "Oh." So we got through our set. They very politely gave us $70 for our time and said, "Thank you, that's enough." And that was,
really?
We don't need 4 hours.
So that whole tour was kind of like that. Now the other end of it was probably when I was playing with the Hookers, because when I toured with the Hookers, I got to go all over the fucking place and play huge shows like in Europe and meet people that I looked up to, and then sometimes meet people I look up to and be like, "Oh, I should have met you."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But it was a great experience, and that's being in that band and touring with that band is why I was like, yeah, I got to get the fuck out of Louisville.
Oh, the Hookers is a band?
Yeah.
I thought you were touring with Hookers. I was like, damn, this guy lives the life.
No, it's a band. I
think that's a job called pimp, right?
Yeah.
The guy that tours with.
Well, what's great is I went back to college when I was like 30, maybe like a year after I dropped back out of college. I got hired by them, and I went to tell my mom I was going to be touring. We went out to lunch. I was like, yeah, I got hired by this band, and we're going to go out on tour. And she's like, great. What's it called? And I was like, it's called the Hookers. And she's like, yep, that's why I pay for your college. I'm like,
oh, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
It's better than the hardcore band I was in called 3 Nails for a False Prophet. Those guys took themselves way too seriously. Yeah. But I don't know. I just kind of, I like being able to come into pretty much any situation and try to adapt to what the people who are doing the project want, and just try to make their ideas come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I play with pretty much whoever wants to hire me is who I play with. And lots of people.
Nice.
So I'm fascinated by this notion of third wave ska in the 90s. Well, in Cleveland.
Okay.
Because I picture, as a person who grew up on the West Coast in the 80s and 90s, I picture that wave of ska being like almost exclusively a California
West
thing,
Coast.
a West Coast thing. Clearly, it wasn't.
Well, you see, we got all your comps.
Yeah.
All your Fat Records and Epitaph and fucking whatever. We got all their comps. And every town in the Midwest had one legitimate ska band with horns. And every town had one legitimate Rancid clone with mohawks. And there was only, and it was like Highlander. If you're in that town and like the second band like came along that was trying to do that, they would like fucking fight to the death.
Ska's ours.
There could be only one, Rudy.
Oh, that's great.
No room in this town.
But I mean, it made it. You know, I that wasn't my project. I just kind of came in on it, but. From what I could tell, you know, since it was like that and every town only had one, that meant that when it was time for them to tour, it was real fucking easy to know who to hit up because everybody owed each other's favors. So it was, you know, for what it was kind of cool. But surprisingly enough, third wave ska did not catch on like wildfire in the Midwest.
It did not. Interesting.
No.
It's funny when, like maybe it's towns that aren't so big, but there was a huge. Like, I grew up in Salt Lake and Provo, where BYU is. BYU is the Mormon college.
Right.
And,
familiar.
That's like Orem, Provo area. It's in Provo. But Provo had the biggest ska scene. Like, they always had the ska bands. Like, anytime you're booking a band and you need somebody and you're like, hey, you got any of those Provo skas? Call some of those Provo ska bands. Like,
ska is ripe for Mormonism. It is ripe for Mormonism.
It is. Like, it's perfect. So squeaky clean.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the rock and roll world, I could see like ska just being like, you know, you got Baptists, you got Episcopalians, you got Mormons in the rock and roll world. You got like metal, you got like hard rock, and then you got these ska guys over here that just smile way too much.
They're way too happy.
Yeah.
Way too happy.
Well, and they already have the suits. They already have the suits
and they dress nicely
and the dumb hats.
Suits. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're all.
If you
ska is Mormon,
they're
making
one lyric
shirts.
away from church going music.
If you showed up to a ska show and everybody on stage had a black jacket and a name tag on, would you be phased at all? Like, I would totally be like, yeah, that
dress like
sense.
missionaries.
Yeah, dress like missionaries. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've probably seen that at some point.
I think so too.
Or like, you know, like they forgot to put on the checkered pants and they're just wearing the straight women. You know, they have to put on the disguise for a second.
And another brilliant but awful offshoot of that I think is like intrinsically related was the kind of the like rock and roll version of the swing scene that came shortly on the heels of all of that.
Oh, again, that zippers don't even start. Oh.
Yeah, cherry poppin' daddies. I probably saw the Cherry Poppin' Daddies like 20 times because they played in the Bay Area.
They're
nonstop.
still playing.
Yeah.
And again, when you're in a smaller place like Louisville, where our scene isn't that, like, you'll have one band that goes for that kind of sound, and they'll be the one band that does that. And it was the same kind of thing. And then the majority of the bands there are all really fucking angry hardcore bands. Like, because they're, trust me, if you live in Louisville, you're fucking pissed off.
You'll know why.
You should be if you're not.
Yeah, like I think there's an Al Beanie quote about like, you know, there's something about Louisville. They're just aggressive. It's, you know, it's something about them, and it's like it's because it's a shitty weather, and like and you're surrounded by it's Kentucky, man. You're in like the way conservatives bitch about California is the way that liberals see Kentucky. Because it's Mitch McConnell's zone, and it's been that way as long as I can remember. And I'm an old man. I grew up there. He's been a fucking senator since '85.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I do like
limits.
if you say the South, like stereotypical South, I probably picture Kentucky. Although, as we learned on this during the course of this podcast, Kentucky was so effective at running people of color out of Kentucky that it actually doesn't really look much like the South because it's almost entirely white. Like,
so I got into this a lot last year because of the Breonna Taylor stuff. But I can send you a video. There's a line downtown in Louisville. There's a dividing, like you can physically see the line where they just put, you know, the minorities. And when I say minorities, when you're in Kentucky, there's only one.
Yeah.
You
can say black. It's not a bad word.
What about Mitch McConnell's wife? Is she's the one Asian lady in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Asian stuff. Realistically, if you have money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have money, let me see, 9th Street. Yeah, I'll send you this. This is going to be really uplifting.
Oh, good. Great. Let's talk about it.
Although, I will say the state driving around the South, the state that really, to me, like, that I now think of as being emblematic of everything that is terrifying to a non-Southerner about the South is fucking Arkansas. Without
I got stories about Arkansas.
Got stories for days.
I didn't want to stop the car. Like, we were driving.
Arkansas is pretty bad, especially when you go, like, if you're driving to a venue, it goes from like a highway, down like 2-lane road, all right, to 1-lane road, gravel road, oh shit, and then you're driving on grass to get to the fucking big ass warehouse that you're gonna play. It's like, and there's chicken wire, and it looks like fucking Roadhouse, and and like when you're in Louisville, like Louisville for the most part is a rather progressive, liberal bastion out of all of that. I would like to think, like their city logos keep it weird because that's their way of being unoriginally weird.
Austin's, Asheville, North Carolina, Louisville.
Yeah, like that. So and Lexington isn't that bad too. But once you get outside of those areas, like as bad as Arkansas is, and I don't want to sit here and like just shit talk states because I have friends in them. But
let's do it.
That's okay.
North Dakota, you're next.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like
Rhode Island.
Yeah, like Mississippi. Like when you get racism in Mississippi, it's like that pure 1950s shit. Like it is not been stepped on. Yeah, it is 100%. Like and they're so matter of fact about it. Because to them, like, just the idea that there's a different way has never occurred to like 7 generations of their family. So but anyway, it's something else.
Uplifting.
Back to music.
Well, hey, so I said to JD, I pulled the music out of a hat today and ended up picking a bunch of stuff. So if you're down to like listen to a good chunk of music, I say we get started because I actually have a fair amount of song selections picked, and I'm fascinated to hear the ones that I don't know anything about yet, which
that
is
I
all of them.
listened to already.
All right, so the first one, I'm going to share my screen. You have that big TV. So my favorite is when somebody does their interview on an iPhone, and then I share the screen, and I can.
They're like,
all right, so this is our.
I already like this.
This is our first entry. ZEMENT from Würzburg, Germany.
I was right. God damn it.
All right. You said they look German?
I said this is German because I'm so fucking cultured.
Oh, I thought your squeaking chair was the music. I thought you started it. I'm like, yeah.
All right.
Nice start.
This song is called Goa, and let's just hear it.
Slow burn. I feel like David Byrne should come in right now.
So we're a minute and a half.
I like this.
Where's it gonna go?
I think it's just gonna be a slow build.
It sounds very German. They are stopping that one.
Yeah.
It sounds like real drums.
It's real drums for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
They call themselves
it's been
Neo
a constant
Kraut.
build.
Neo Kraut?
I can see that. Yeah.
Totally.
It's been like a constant build. Nothing's repeating more than like once or twice.
Yeah. Keep adding new sounds.
Yeah. Wait, you hear that? That little melody going on?
Yeah.
I reckon
This is something that I'd put on while I was working.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Huh. Yeah.
I like
zone out music.
I'm into that kind of stuff.
There's nothing to really hook you in, but there's nothing really turning you away from it either.
No.
Like, it's a good steady groove, and like you said, it's good working music because it's on the ones.
Sounding better and more focused than before, combining the wonder of the Autobahn with intelligent nods to techno and free jazz.
Yeah, it's very German. It's very German.
I like this dude. The one dude in the band is rocking the Abraham Lincoln facial hair really well, but somebody should have somebody should have helped him out in the photo shoot. Like, hey, dude, on your lip.
I mean, it could be a weird mole.
Could be.
It could be. It looks like a giant whitehead, but
or a cold sore.
A cold sore.
That's what I was thinking. But surely he wouldn't just harpy it up in a photo. It's got to be something else.
Your face could use some help, but your music is great. Just kidding.
His face is fine.
No, his face is fine.
All right. Well, I'm vaguely curious, so I want to hear how another song goes. Okay. So here's a short. That was a 6.5 minute song that we were less than 2 minutes.
That was going to build for 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. So this one's called Soil.
Okay.
Let's get right into it this time, guys.
Oh, I love how it starts. Let's squeak again.
Yeah. It's the marker. Start. Oh, guitar, watch out.
Yeah, I know.
That is way different.
It is very different.
Very B-52s.
Yeah.
I can hear French Steiner on this right now.
I was gonna say
let's go down the Autobahn. I've got my Mercedes. You can take your Cadillac.
So I guess we're gonna remix this one.
We're gonna remix it right now, live.
Add lyrics. Okay.
It's a cool.
Alright, so it's just...
I like it. I like really dig it. I know I'm like making jokes, but I actually really like this. I'm probably going to buy the album.
Yeah, it's good instrumental stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and I always think like put those guys to work scoring a film or TV show or something.
Completely.
Or a Mercedes commercial.
Or a Mercedes commercial.
Mm-hmm. Featuring Fred Steiner.
And I know it's supposed to be instrumental, but like that kind of stuff, you could there's so many different singers that you could put right over the top of that, and instantly that's like the radio hit.
You could put David Byrne on top of it.
Yeah, you could.
David Byrne or our favorite reference here, Peter Murphy.
Yeah, Peter
it's
Murphy.
Kind of cool.
Jonathan Davis. I mean,
whoa. I didn't hear.
It's got that new wave kind of structure to it, where you have. The bass is doing a one rhythm and your guitar is doing a counter rhythm, but it's got those acoustic drums which should make it sound more modern, but since that's more of a modern transition, it's got a good new wave feel to it with
I'm in.
That was cool. All right, so round 2, lightning round time. This is CRS/Cirrosis from Mexico.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
They say right on there they are a death metal band from Mexico.
Oh yeah, dude, the Mexican metal bands do not fuck around.
No, that has been our experience so far.
That has been our experience. Yes,
they're up there with Japanese metal, man. They're on a whole another fucking level.
So this is a band that formed in 1991. So these are just like some dudes who've been at it for.
Hannibal Lecter is playing in a band?
Apparently.
Love that guy.
Fucking get it, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get it. All right, so let's hear them. They wanted us to listen to Asphyxia, I believe, which is the album opener. All right.
Perfect.
So it's crsband.bandcamp.com.
I'm bracing myself already. I don't know how much how much of the quality gets lost in the compression on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be gentle about production.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get into I could hear a little bit more boom from the drums, but again, it's hard to tell in this. But I will say
the drums are really out front.
Yeah, the drums are like, we're here, baby.
Yeah, the guitar tones are for this type of stuff, it's really cool, that whole scoop tone. But what I really like is how they're playing in 7. Because they're the way that they're structuring the 7, they're playing as a 4 and a 3, so it sounds like the riff ends up reversing on itself every time they get to that 7.
I was just going to say that.
JD was just going to say that. The whole point of this podcast is for me to teach JD about
music theory,
metric modulation, and time signatures in music. That's
well,
really...
I was going to say, like, as metal as it is, it's cool to hear, even if it's not like heavy prog, some amount of prog in it, where it's not just we're gonna chugga on 4, over and over, and syncopate beats within 4,
And that was nice, because a lot of times when people first get their feet wet playing 7 or playing odd meters, they'll keep it real straight and just play like the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, and you can hear it like it's almost counting itself to you. But they weren't really doing that. It was a little more hidden in the background.
Yeah. The band I had sent you, Nixon, we used to have a lot of fun playing with that, where we have the drums playing in 12, which 2 series of 6, and then one guitar would be playing in 7/5, the other guitar would be playing 5/7.
Oh, that's fun.
So the riffs would literally just kind of crisscross each other, and everything stayed with the drums.
Yeah.
And it all resolved the way it was supposed to.
I like that both of you know what that would sound like, and I'm just going, sweet.
I can hear it. Well, it's like...
and let me tell you, when it comes to selling records, he would buy it, and the rest of the people in the room would be like, that sounds cool. And you're like, no, you don't understand. It's like 12.
No, it is cool.
Well, what's funny is that I know you love it, though, because that moment of resolution when you have 2 times that come together is what makes every good Tool song good. But you just don't know that that's what you're listening to.
Tool,
that's what it is.
The only reason I'll ever bash Tool about the way they do it is they just tend to use the same trick. Yeah. Like they have their bag of tricks and they stick to it. They don't, but it works for them. They sell records. But when you have the 2 conflicting time signatures, it creates tension. It creates a feeling of stress in the listener, because it's not going the way you feel like it's supposed to go, because everything is supposed to resolve on a 4 or a 3. It's supposed to follow in a pattern. And then when it resolves in a different way and all comes together, it's like a little bit of release from that stress. That's what makes that kind of heavy music a little bit heavier.
Yeah. So did you ever, when you're driving and you had the windshield wipers on, and so the windshield wipers are going at one tempo, and then there's something playing in the background, I would always play the game where I was like, all right, when do the windshield wipers
they catch up
and the music meet?
And that's how you learn how to play 513.
513 is what you said.
That is exactly right. Yeah. Yep. And I remember being fascinated by that. I remember one night when I was a kid laying in bed, and there were like some crickets like chirping in a very constant pattern, and I don't even remember what the other sound was that was going at the same time, and I was just laying in bed waiting for that moment, like every 30 seconds or so, where they met up, and then listen to them gradually spread out and then gradually come back together and meet up again. And that is just doing that on a different schedule.
Yeah,
essentially.
We had I don't hear them a lot out here, but back home we had mockingbirds. and the Mockingbirds, like you could listen, and eventually their stuff would meet up and split apart. But mostly, when I started doing music like that, the idea was to just try to get people who wanted to try to dance to it to fall over. That was the whole thing. Yeah. Like you try to get them to end the beat, and then throw it away on them and watch them stumble.
And then watch them try to figure out where to tap.
And the reason you did that is because in the hardcore scene, there's the whole, well, who's a poser, who's not. It's like, well, who really knows how to dance to this song?
Yeah.
Who really knows the song? Yeah. If they know what the changes are, it's like, oh, that motherfucker listens to the record.
Yeah. And we talked about it a little bit because we were listening in the car maybe yesterday. I don't know. Recently, I'll throw this up here because these just came in the mail. The new King Buffalo record, which is a really great record, and there are at least 2 songs that are all in 7 the whole time, and it's like they start off in 7. I'm like, okay, cool. And my favorite thing about a song that starts in an odd meter is like, okay, where do we take it? Like, when do we go back to straight time? Where is it going to go? Because when you just play a song in 7 the whole time, eventually all you have is just have a solid quarter note pattern that you can always dance to. And I'm waiting for that moment where they fuck with you, and they never but they never do it.
I always say whenever I'm talking to anyone who doesn't quite understand 100% this kind of stuff, when I'm explaining 7, I always say Spoon Man. It's the best example because that's a song that's in 7 that is catchy as shit.
Yeah.
Which song?
Spoon Man.
Spoon Man by
I hate that song. I like
that
song.
But it's a great example of 7.
It's a good example. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. If you hate the song, does it get stuck in your head?
No, I don't listen to it.
If you listen to it, would it get stuck in your head?
I don't know, maybe.
Spoon Man. Soundgarden.
That riff would.
Oh, it totally sticks in your head.
And it's the resolution that. That's the hook.
They hand it to you there. Normally, they don't hand you like here. It's about to turn around. So it can prep the casual listener to go. Okay, we're about to start that over again.
I mean, they're literally putting an ellipsis on it. 1, 2, 3. And then going into the next part. So it's
it was funny. I was early on in the pandemic. Our buddy Matt St. Marie's an electronic musician. And we had sort of tossed around the idea of trying to make some, mixed up electronic and heavy music. And we decided to try and do something in 5. And he's like, I just can't. I don't know. 5's
a bitch.
Yeah, 5's not grabbing me. So then I just sent him a whole list of songs that are in 5 all the way through. And there's a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of them. And there's some catchy stuff. But it turns around so fast that
I think isn't it March of the Pigs by 9 Inch Nails is a really good song in 5.
Yes.
And it's because he's got that stripped down drum sound going, so he's just pounding you with the 5 the whole time, and that becomes the hook. But most times you try to write 5, it's impossible to get a hook in there because you're trying to fit a hook within 5 instead of making the 5th beat your actual hook.
Yeah. So I'll play you guys maybe one of the most memorable melodies in the history of the world, hooky as shit, that's in 5.
All right.
And
I hope it's Happy Birthday and you're going to blow my mind.
It is. It totally is, right?
No, it's not.
No.
Hold on, I'll get there. I don't have a producer, but you guys will immediately.
Yes! New Raid Essentials. Protection that's both safe and effective to use around kids and pets.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Dumbass beat comes on.
Until that comes in.
This is pick the wrong version.
Was that the Chris Cornell version when they got all the audio?
It was the first one that came up when I searched Mission Impossible theme.
Huh. Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Yeah. It just turns around so fast. It doesn't give you much time to like stretch out and build a melody. You just have at any reasonable tempo, you just have a couple seconds to like establish a melody.
And again, it also creates a sense of distress and a sense of just uneasiness because everything we expect, symmetry.
Oh yeah, there's a whole.
Sure.
there's a whole playlist on Spotify. The Gorillaz have a song called 5/4. I sent that one to Matt, actually. I was like, all right, really? If you want to get in the mood, here you go. Here's a... But yeah, I mean, there's a bazillion. All right. Interesting tangent. Let's move on.
Let's, wait. Oh, are we done with that band?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was good Mexican death metal. Get into it.
I thought we were going to pick a solo.
I do want to, yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear their chorus on that. I'm interested to see how they resolve it.
Fine.
Those guys will be so stoked that we're going to come back to it, too.
All right, here we go. So let me share it again. All right. Back in it.
Nice syncopation.
Yeah. Catchy chorus.
Yeah. So is this something they did recently? Is this something they...
So this was released in 2019. Oh. We got a submission for it because they just made a video. Actually, I remember this now, for the song "The Daydreamer's Nightmare."
Oh, I'm curious as to whether that's...
let's hear it.
Wait, they just made a video for an album they released 2 years ago?
People are trying to stay busy, man. There was a pandemic.
Okay.
It's like, let's make my old album interesting again. Hey, I've had the thought more than once. Like,
yeah.
Shit, how do I dredge this shit back up?
I'll keep releasing the same shit as long as people keep buying it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Daydreamer's Nightmare.
That
sounds like a daydream.
Did not see that coming. Oh man. Snare tone's making me sad though.
Yeah, I like it.
Interesting.
So that was a 7 and a 5.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't at that point.
That's
I was more hearing it. It's got more of a power metal feel to it.
I was thinking maybe like a 7 and
they've got all those double bass hits on every note.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, like it's good, but man, like snare tone, guys.
I know. Hopefully it sounds better when in. So we're running the audio through Zoom, and that's what we're hearing too. But the actual podcast will have the original audio.
It sounds to me like it's just kind of a flat production on the snare, and they could really use a pop on that. Yeah, it kind of sounds more like a thud than a crack.
All right, so this next one I'm really fascinated by because, I've seen the name a bunch of times, but I've never listened to it, and it's like fascinating to me that we're in this generation of bands now where you can name your band after not a Black Sabbath song but a High on Fire song. Like, sure. Like that's how old we all are. Is now that, like,
do you think they named it after that?
It's got to be. What else would it?
Well,
I mean,
I don't know.
We'll know very quickly.
Yeah, I would imagine we'll know very quickly.
Well, let's see. Crushing, stoner, metal. Oh well, of course they're Swedish. That's what European bands do. They name themselves after their American band songs, and then American bands do the same thing with European bands.
Yep. I mean, there are plenty of bands named after sleep songs.
Oh, I see.
We've got Mars, Red Sky.
Yeah.
Is that the X-Wing and the Dagobah?
That's what it looks like. Yeah. We're mixing our metaphors here a little bit. We got High on Fire and Star Wars, but hey, if you're 40 to 50 years old, this probably.
I feel like that's like a weird, like, okay, like if you ordered an X-Wing from Wish, this is what you would get.
It's the Wish X-Wing. Oh.
Or like they couldn't afford the licensing on the image for an X-Wing, so they just got a no wing.
Yeah.
No wing.
Well, no, it's got little TIE fighter wings in the back. It looks like.
It totally looks like TIE fighter wings. That's so crazy.
Oh
and
man!
Look, there's the Death. Oh wait.
I see what you guys did.
It kind of looks like a Death Star.
All right.
Okay, Let's listen to the band.
Let's listen to the band. This song is called March of the Ancient Queen.
All hail the Green King.
I got smart money on a fuzz pedal.
Yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be. My bet is, if they're chasing the Matt Pike Zoner thing, it's gonna be highly saturated.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of chords sliding up to the 12th fret, and a lot of a lot of chord vibrato and full pull-offs.
A lot of playing up on the neck. Yep.
All right, let's see.
All right, here we go.
I won't recognize anything that you just said.
Right there. Sounds to me like if you got some guys that really like Matt Pike and listen to a lot of Orange Goblin.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not bad. It could be tighter.
I like it.
The tone is definitely there.
Yeah, the tone's great.
And it's different to hear vocals that are in that register, because usually you hear it several notes lower.
Yeah, much lower.
But the interesting thing about years ago I had some friends that had a band called Christensen. Pound for pound, sorry guys, they sounded just the fuck like at the drive-in, but they were pretty popular. And I was talking to the guitar player. He's like, the weird thing is, man, in the United States, people come up to you and be like, man, you sound like at the drive-in. But then you go to Europe, they go, wow, you sound like at the drive-in.
Yeah.
So you see this a lot. I'm more involved in kind of the rock and roll side of European bands, like the Helicopters and Terminator and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you see a lot of things where it's a whole thing to really try to chase the sound of
another band. To worship them in a good way.
Yeah, and I mean they start straight off with that really, really crunchy, that crunchy guitar tone going right up on the neck. It sounds to me like they're cheating and using drop tuning. But hey, whatever gets you there. But there isn't. But if you're watching this, guys, if you're watching this, there is a difference in the sound of the chords when you actually do a fifth where it's supposed to be, and that is where the heaviness comes from.
Yeah.
You lose it when you go to the
wise
drop
words from Bill Walker.
Yeah, you lose it when you go to the drop tuning. Then you start sounding like fucking Trapped.
Oh.
This doesn't sound like.
This doesn't sound like.
No.
Well,
but drop tuning is a new metal thing. It is not a real metal thing.
Yeah. It's there are some bands that I have heard recently where I was surprised to find out that almost everything was in some form of drop tuning.
Now,
you can
use it. You can use it if you don't use it as a crutch for playing chords fast. Like if you use it to be able to get different chord shapes that you can't get out of standard tuning, you can do really fucking cool shit with drop tuning. But most people they tune their guitar down. They're okay. And now the top of my guitar is automatically chords.
Yep.
I can do whatever I want.
I can say we even have a couple songs that are essentially in drop D, drop E flat. That it's all for Carl. It's all about the chord shapes and not about the the ease of hitting those. And he does really crazy shit with that tuning. Like Chased by Monsters is in the new metal tuning.
Yeah,
but it's not. You would never notice it.
That's why I like it.
When Nixon, we did a song that was the only song that we played in drop D. We didn't play a single chord with it. It was all about being riffing from that position. Yeah. So it was being able to get further with your fingers without having to fucking crazy reach.
Yeah, for Carl, it was this exercise in this bluegrass picking technique that he picked up. That's this 3 down 2 up picking technique. That's this really crazy like doesn't sound like anything else, and then in that drop tuning you just get these crazy sounds.
See, being from Kentucky, what you guys I would imagine experience out here is as you get older, your musician friends who are really good musician friends eventually kind of like graduate into jazz and become jazz guys. Where I'm from, it's bluegrass. Yeah. It's hillbilly jazz. So once everyone's done everything they can with punk rock and metal, they get a banjo and start.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. I can't listen to it because it when you're from there, it's like a PTSD thing. It's like, no. If I start listening to this, people are going to know I'm from there.
Have you seen or heard Show Me the Body?
I don't think so.
Oh, fuck. They're insane.
Is that a blue?
They're like this hardcore band, but the singer plays a banjo sometimes. And it's like, you would never think the two would go together, and they are fucking incredible.
A couple of years ago, there was some guy who was doing, I think it was either Slayer or Metallica songs on banjo, and they were doing like full production and everything.
Oh, I saw a couple of those videos.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was good.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, my take on something like this is, and I get the point about Europe versus the States, but it's like you're just asking to get shit on real quick, because you're saying like, hey man, we're gonna wear our influences on our sleeves and we're gonna produce something that's worthy of being named after a High on Fire song. And it's like it sets like a high bar that you gotta fucking hit, and if you don't hit it, then it's just even more disappointing that you went there.
You know what though? I think what it all comes down to, especially anymore, is the whole reason, in my opinion, bands should be doing anything as far as putting things out, recording. It's all about self-gratification. So as long as they're happy,
they're happy,
and if it's hero worship and they're enjoying it, more power to them. That, and High on Fire doesn't get over Europe all that much, so there's a market for bands that sound like them.
Yeah, well, that's my personal opinion is very much in line with yours. It's just watching how the audience kind of experiences that music. It's like. It's like arms crossed on the internet, like, oh, so you're named after a High on Fire song, huh? All right, let's fucking hear it, buddy.
You know what though? Those people got the wrong idea though.
They do.
Who have that attitude? They got the wrong. See, those are the people who treat this shit like it's sports. It's like, it's not a fucking competition.
Yeah.
No.
Like the music you write, the music you make. There's no fucking now when you play it live. 100%, that's a competition. But like just the composition and production and all like that, man, it's there's no competition involved. And like I said, I mean, there are lots of things that you can pick out about this that could be better. There are things on it that are good, but at the end of the day, you can tell that they're loving what they're doing.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
When I
all
hear
based
that,
on 1 minute.
Well, no. So I actually want to play a little bit of the next song.
Yeah.
You've got a lot out of that 1 minute.
No, listen.
No, totally.
But listen to the way they're playing. Like, you can... When people love what they're doing, it translates to how they play and they record, and it gives it a feeling of authenticity.
No, I'm just saying, I think what I'm trying to say is, like, I think there are certain people in the world, like you two, that could get all of that out of a minute of music. Well, somebody like me is just like, let me hear more. I was really digging that.
Well, it's the whole presentation too. It's the band name, it's the artwork, like all of it, and that's been sort of the whole point of this is you're lucky if you get a minute of anybody's time to hear. So like the immediate impact of all of it's
especially ours.
Important. Oh no, our time is very valuable. No, so I want to hear a little bit of Gargantuan Forest.
Yeah, let's
That's a cool face. I like this intro a lot better than the first one.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I keep translating this to a banjo because this totally sounds like you would play it on a banjo.
long intros.
Stoner bands, man.
Yeah, come on.
Gotta give you time to get high for this episode. Very Orange Goblin.
Yeah.
I hear more Orange Goblin than High on Fire.
Or sleep even, begetting Orange Goblin, begetting 10,000 Years.
It has a lot to do with the drums. Because he's not busy.
No.
What was it, Dominic? I can't remember. Anyway, I know they got Chris Maggio now.
Yeah.
But they High on Fire
yeah.
have pretty busy. That like even if you go back and like play it again, like turn it back on, listen to the drums.
Yeah, the drumming's a lot more spare. Dez was never one for.
Well, even the production on it sounds like Orange Goblin, where it's just really compressed, but it's got a pap on the snare. Like it's not a crack or a pop. It's a pap.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, that and the vocals, like, if you're gonna get up in that range, man, play around with your notes. Don't just scream at us the whole time.
Yeah. I would like to hear a little more melody too. This is good, and this is fucking brand new. They just tracked this shit in February.
Dude, it's like if Carp and fucking Orange Goblin had a baby.
Yeah.
Because the vocals sound more like hardcore to me, or just because he's yelling, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
What was my patented phrase for hardcore vocals? Toneless yelling.
I don't know. Did you say that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I dig that actually.
Yeah, I do too.
10,000 years, I like it.
You like 10,000 Years? All right. Well, hey, their album's coming out in like a week. So it might be out by the time this goes up, because I can't keep track of time. I don't even try anymore. But they do have some CDs, and looks like they maybe have some vinyl. I don't know. Fucking get your hands on a copy. Interstellar Smoke is putting out some cool bands, some good underground stuff from Europe, including a band that we stand for hard, Cavern Deep.
That we support wholly.
Yeah. That putting out some good music.
I'll tell you what, man, there are a lot of the bands in Europe in general that, like, you tend to see a really, really high quality of musicianship coming out of there. And it's, a lot of it's because they actually have governments that do things like fund their art programs and their grants for artists so that they can pursue their art.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, where it's like if you're not selling records, fuck you,
Yeah.
But man, like I don't know if you ever get into like Coruscant.
Yes.
Oh god, those guys are incredible.
Yeah. No, we've interviewed Max from Cavern Deep, and then the guys from Domcraft basically went deep on why everybody in Sweden is good at music and why there are so many bands per capita because of the government's support of the arts.
Here, need an instrument? Here you go. Need a place to practice? Here you go.
Believe you me, like 2016, I was like, all right, where's the paperwork where I emigrate? Like, because I was like, when 45 got in, I was like, that seems like a pretty good time for me to see about becoming an artist in Europe. Yeah, they have socialism. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Oh, do we get to listen to your band?
Yeah, so I'm going to play the beginning of Chased by Monsters because this is the least new metal drop D.
What is it going to show us?
Are you going to put me on the spot and listening to your stuff?
No, that's fine. You can hate it all you want. In fact, on YouTube, the my favorite comment on the lyric video for this song is like, "Oh my god, that guitar, my ears are bleeding." I think.
Oh, let me hear it. I'm already excited.
Really? I love the guitar in this.
Oh yeah.
But wait, what I forgot why we're.
So this is like
example of something.
This is Carl playing in the new metal tuning, the drop D tuning, in like the least new metal way possible.
Okay.
To show like the way different, picking styles and tone and everything can impact what is kind of generally universally considered the new metal tuning.
Okay.
Yeah. So, although it exists, Soundgarden plays a ton of shit in drop D. It existed before new metal, but it blew up there.
All right. Huh? Was he singing in nu metal?
He was. Troy sings in almost exclusively
in nu metal.
Yeah, he sings almost exclusively in nu metal.
Because it almost sounds a little bit like System of a Down. Almost.
Yeah. No.
That's not a bad thing.
Definitely. I mean, it definitely got a lot of comments on '90s influences.
The only reason I would say that is just because of the scale he's singing. Other than that, he sounds nothing like Surge, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck needs that much nasal? You know.
Especially live Surge. I like studio Surge, not so much live Surge.
I never saw him live.
Yeah. I just sent you something that was my example of how to use Drop D without cheating.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it. If you want to look at what I sent you.
Oh boy.
Where? Oh, just Facebook? You Facebooked it?
Facebooked it.
All right, here we go.
We are going deep this episode, folks.
This is another Drop D one. Yeah.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that was in. I would never would have guessed that was in Drop D.
Just gave us a little bit extra reach on that riff.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, like Disastroid, a ton of the Disastroid songs are in Drop D.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah, a ton of them
yeah.
are. But just because I think a lot of guys started, were playing a lot in the '90s, and it was just so pervasive. If you were covering Soundgarden or whatever,
Pantera.
it was just in the air, and so it was probably
Tonight.
Yes, in the air tonight. It was probably the first alternate tuning that most people my age fucked around with, unless they were into Zeppelin and played Dad or something like that.
We can blame Helmet for this.
Yeah, Helmet.
100%. Helmet was the ones that went, "Hey guys, look, da 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 da," and everyone went, "Oh shit!" That's it. Next thing you know, I'm not knocking Helmet because I fucking love Helmet, but they took a formula of minimalism and simplicity and made something artistic out of it. And what ended up happening is minimalism and simplicity became marketable.
Are you saying that Page Hamilton gave way to nu metal?
No.
Would nu metal have started without Page?
Yes, it would have.
I think it was kind of one of those things where the door was already pretty much open, and he just went ahead and opened it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And I think crossover had more to do with nu metal than anything. When all the hardcore bands started going more metal to try to make money, and then you started getting like the hip hop fusing into that crossover thing, and then Faith No More, they're the ones who
I think so.
Yeah, that song Epic becoming a hit was like, okay, here's the future of music for the next 10 years.
It's so funny though, because it's like
it's white guy rap.
It's like not even sort of rapping.
It's grandma rap.
It's like grandma rap. But then the rest,
like
Mike Pat, there is no other rap on the rest of the album.
No,
like there's one like.
It's just you when you put someone like Mike Patton in a band and he shows up when it's like, I think we're gonna try to rap. You go, Okay.
All right. Whatever, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, if you ask the vast majority of people who loved that song in the 90s to name any other song off of that record, they wouldn't be able to.
No.
If you ask me, I would say the best song in that fucking record is Surprise You're Dead. Hands down.
Yes.
I love that song, but I also love Woodpecker to Mars.
That's a good one,
to Mars?
too.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
So good.
Oh,
Woodpecker from
man.
Mars?
Yeah.
The fuck is that song called?
I can't remember the name of it.
It has Woodpecker and Mars in it.
I have a very distinct memory of being at my dad's house on a Sunday afternoon to visit and watching a VHS recording of SNL, the Faith No More performance, where Patton was climbing all over the speakers and shit, and my dad just like shaking his head going, is this what music has come to? And I was just like, oh man, this is the greatest thing. I was so happy. This is the greatest thing I've, because I've been going to bungle shows, and I was like, oh, the rest of the world gets to see this fucking
This
lunatic
weirdo.
that I've watched piss on people from the rafters of a venue and like just generally be unruly, and now he's on SNL. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. It was really weird too, because like when he caught all that fame, it was one of those things where like they were such a weird band to be thrust into that pantheon of rock stars, because they did, with the exception of I think the guitar player, none of them wanted that shit. Like, but they were big, so it's like, hey, you're gonna tour with Guns N' Roses, and they're like,
all right,
great.
It pays what?
Yeah, it pays what, but
okay,
at what cost to you?
Yeah.
Well, but that led to, awesome.
To him doing 12 other.
Well, no, awesome music moments, because they got big, and then all of a sudden there's the Battle of the Bands and the Bill and Ted's 2, which also includes Primus. Because we're talking, Bay Area homies who are like, hey, let's get in on this.
Yeah, I guess they kind of paved the way for.
And this is where you're at that weird disconnect too, because I didn't grow up out here, so to me, like all of that shit just seems like one thing.
Yeah.
Like everything that happened in California all happened at the same time with the same people.
80s and 90s in California all hit you at one time.
I moved out,
2 decades.
I moved out here in 2012, and when I moved out here, I lived on the beach, like in Oceanside, and I didn't realize surfing was a real thing. I would see people like 6 a.m, and I'm like, wow, they do this every day, huh? And they're like, yeah, what did you think? I'm like, I don't know. We only saw surfers in movies. Like,
yeah.
I bet you don't have people riding horses, though. Yeah.
No. And like every other backyard in North County probably has a half pipe in it. Like.
Yeah, we just have basketball goals. Like basketball goals and like a lifetime of regret. That's all we have.
Kentucky, huh? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So hey. We're
is it that time?
We're on a pause from listening to songs. I already showed off my King Buffalo record.
Oh.
So because we're stands for them, we ended up each getting.
I figure if we keep talking about them enough, they might finally agree to come on the show.
2 different versions. I'll get.
No, I mean they're recording 3 albums this year.
Oh, those albums are recorded.
Hold up, is that green vinyl?
No, it's blue. Is it blue? Is it green screening?
It's green screening at certain points, and I was like, that's awesome. I'm only going to send you green.
We did also get the special ones, too.
Yeah, we got a different version. So I missed Record Store Day, but my daughter and I went to the record store, what's today? Thursday? We went on Tuesday just to see if there was anything left over. Like, because Record Store Day was Sunday. I was like, maybe there's some good stuff.
I was just waiting for you to like throw a joke in. What's today? Thursday? We went back in February.
No.
And
no, that's the old Woody Allen. That's that old Woody Allen setup from from Love and Death, maybe. Where he's like, she's like, have you ever had sex before? When was the last time you had sex? And he's like,
what's today?
He's like, what time is it? 6 years ago, or some dumb shit like that. All right, so I'm digging through the stacks. And I come across this fine gem from a band called White Witch. From Tampa.
That's like Graham Jam, dude.
Yeah, a little bit. From Tampa, Florida, 1972.
Wow.
Looked it up. It was like some think this was one of the first things that led us to hair metal in the 80s. And then I listened to it and I was like, nope. Other than the makeup and the hair, maybe not very good. So if you're So if you're looking for
Why'd you bring it?
Well, it's a cool
I want to get your
cover.
reaction on this. This sucks.
This is pretty.
This album is horrible.
Bought
this
it.
album is 60 years old.
Gets better.
Don't get
though.
it.
One of my all-time favorite musicians, one of my favorite records of all time, Larry Graham and Graham Central Station.
Ain't no about it, doubt it.
Ain't no about it, doubt it. Hair, The Jam. This one still had the fucking insert for $6.
Sweet.
It's pretty.
Insert was $6.
Oh my god, your stream of dad jokes today has to.
It's almost Father's Day.
It has to end.
Jesus.
Oh man, no, the record was $6. So it's like I have
That's a pretty good score.
I have great contempt for religious extremism
And dad jokes, apparently.
Yeah, and dad jokes. Well, 15 in a row. But like,
Really?
but I'll
Religious
forget.
extremism, dad jokes. It's all the same.
I'll forgive Larry Graham for being a Seventh-day Adventist because he's just such a fucking warlock, base warlock.
Good.
Ah, he's that good. I mean, and he was Prince's mentor in like the second half of Prince's career.
Wow.
He's the reason Prince became a Seventh-day Adventist.
If you fucking expect sanity out of the musicians you're looking up to, you're not gonna.
There
have
you go.
Musicians
Yeah.
you like, because none of us are
Exactly.
fucking sane.
No,
We all have different levels of crazy. It's just it's like you saying that I'm the same way because we're like they're crazy. It's the wrong kind of crazy.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and it's like as a non-religious person, I always crack up thinking that like a Lutheran would look down on a Scientologist. When I'm like, wow, you look kind of the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't really see the difference, but hey, whatever. And then just because they had them really beautiful reissues of the 2 Yob records that I do not have on vinyl.
Where'd you get those?
They had them at Streetlight.
Oh.
So the Unreal Never Lived.
Lucky.
And the Illusion of Motion with like sweet posters and really nice thick 180 gram vinyl.
Those are too good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good, obviously, but yeah.
And I did not own those, so now I do.
I'm terrible. I have test pressings and boxes of records I haven't sold, and that's it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I have a bunch of those too. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I got another one.
Oh, what'd you
It came
get?
today.
Oh.
The new Heavy Temple.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah. So Nighthawk, who was a guest on this one's actually yours.
Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is her band.
Oh, I see what's happening. When you're turning the album, it's catching the reflection of the green.
Oh, is it?
And then
Yeah,
it's green.
So this just came out.
If I was on,
Actually,
if the
did we
drugs
even
I
get
was
it
on was
before?
any better than they were, that would be freaking me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
man.
really good.
yeah, it's a good record.
They did the Day of Doom this year.
Nice.
Or no, not the Day of Doom. It was the other live stream
They have played some.
that they did.
They did play. There was a big show in Philly last weekend, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that was like I was so jealous
Yeah.
to not be there.
Or the live one?
Yeah, no, they played like a show. Like, there was
yeah, that's right. They did. They played a live show. Yeah. Okay.
and they played with somebody else that I love.
Yeah.
Whose name is escaping me because I'm old and crusty and
Yeah.
can't remember things.
I can't remember either, but I do remember.
Somebody else from
I
Philly.
do remember that I remember that I like them.
So what? So you have boxes of unsold records? That's always exciting.
Oh, okay. I had a band going right before the pandemic hit called Space Force, and we dressed up in the uniforms, whole deal, for the live show. A lot of fun. Good helicopters rip off rock and roll, and which is like ripping anyway. Right before the pandemic hit, we got a fucking box of imported vinyl with a split with this really cool band from England called the Hit Priests, and then everything shut down, and then by the time it opened up, the guys are like, we don't really want to do the band, It's like,
Aww.
so yeah, I've got 4 colors, and I got a whole bunch of them. So
Oh yeah, we'll take one.
Hit him up.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll send you all sorts of unsold.
Where
can we find
is
those?
it on Bandcamp?
No,
Or
I don't
somewhere?
think. I don't. Savage Magic Records might have it. I don't know though.
We'll send thousands of listeners.
Yes, we will
Oh, yeah.
send the
Yeah.
countless thousands. So if you're a Helicopters fan, do you? I should know the answer to this, but you're not playing in the Nightcrawlers with Jerry, are
Jared
you?
plays in Monolith.
Huh?
Jared plays in Monolith.
He plays in Monolith, I know, but isn't the Nightcrawlers
Oh.
like his Helicopters worship?
No. The Nightcrawlers is a band that he used to do. Soul Seller is his Helicopters were.
Oh, that's what it is. Soul Seller. I fucked this up once before. Yeah.
And I'll finally come clean publicly. Jared can hear what the fuck. So he asked me to learn a bunch of Helicopter songs to do a tribute. Sure, man. I spent like 8 months. And I'm obsessive about this shit too. If I'm learning it, I'm learning it. So I spent a lot of time working on it, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, doing the other band, we're doing the Helicopters tribute, so, they already got a guy. I'm like, you motherfucker. Oh. So now, but we're covering a Helicopter song on the new Monolith 7-inch, so I'm like, good enough.
Good.
But plus, and he's playing guitar on it, which is what he should be doing. He's such a good guitar player.
I have a really hard time being mad at Jerry about anything.
You can't
it's hard to be mad at him. He's just
you can't get mad at him.
He's human sunshine.
It's because of his last name,
Bliss. Yeah, he's.
he's a great dude. It's funny too because I feel like he is outside of North County. He's better known as a bass player, but man, he's one of the best guitar players I've ever seen.
Oh no, he's a fucking ripping guitar player, but it's just the relentless pace of the quest sort of putting him at. Making him look like a bass player, and Soul Seller, but he's a killer guitar player.
Yeah, and then every now and then we'll just be like, hey, we got a new song. Want to come play solo on the record? Yeah, cool. Come on in. All right, bye. See you in a couple months.
You did pick a lot of songs.
I did. Well, and we got Call of the Wild here. We got there's 2 more, and then there's some Bandcamp stuff. So what do you want to hear next? A submission or a Bandcamp pick?
We should probably go to a Bandcamp.
All right, let's do it. So this was a really cool article today about something that I found very interesting. I don't know if it's an article from today, but it was an article that I found today in the sort of Bandcamp Daily section about a new genre of hip hop that is.
Please tell me this is fucking helium rap.
Is what?
I'm all about it.
Helium?
This is helium rap because I'm all about it.
Oh boy.
No, it's like these beat makers that all use analog synth. And then, and it's like hip hop and like old crusty analog synth music mixed together.
That's kind of cool.
So this record,
sounds cool.
Digging the Wires Volume 1 is like a compilation with a bunch of different artists. But in the original article in Bandcamp, it sort of picks out some of the leading voices. But this song, I just thought it's called High Voltage by Ski Beatz, and I thought it fucking ruled. I think that's the one I meant to play.
You should know better not to get too close to high voltage.
Some point an MC comes in, if I remember correctly.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Better hurry. They keep throwing the preview hook at you too.
What?
They keep throwing the preview hook at you too, so you expect it and it doesn't come.
Yeah, it doesn't come. So they call it mod bap.
Mod bap?
Mod bap.
Huh.
That makes sense because it sounds like boom bap and yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that was the idea behind it. The article's really cool. I flipped through a bunch of the songs and every one of them was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that's it's like
that's cool.
It's a completely different context for hip hop that I would love to see find its way into the more mainstream. Why not let those modular synth guys go to town?
Yeah. Well, this is like the kind of stuff where you have like your friend that's really schooled in hip hop, but you like, I don't know, 2 Live Crew or something. Obviously somebody that grew up in the 80s. 2 Live Crew.
I'm listening.
No, maybe you're like a Jay-Z fan, and then you're just the casual, oh yeah, I like hip hop. Jay-Z's my favorite. And your friend's like, you like hip hop? Check this shit out.
Yeah, wait, is this the same song?
I got the underground hooks for you.
Is this the same one? Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, I mean, if you flip through the article, there's just example after example of like
looks like the
really
Ghost logo.
Cool.
The
The muse is actually an entity that lives in our...
And of course, all of it's, you know, a little bit off the mainstream for hip hop. So it's cool to hear kind of, you know,
I like this stuff.
I don't hear that much hip hop, and what I do hear, like what's currently popular, is not really tickling my fancy. Although there are some offshoots that are interesting, but it's just cool to hear, you know, something different. Keep it quick. All right, so then
I generally don't know what's going on
in hip hop,
with popular music,
and pop music in general. Yeah.
Or like,
I don't follow it, but I like it. I like stuff like that.
All right, so our next submission then.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys. By patronizing audience member. All right, so this band is called Night Goat.
I've heard Night Goat.
You have?
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking sure I've heard Night Goat.
Oh, all right. Shoot. So from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, they're going to be noisy. They're going to be noisy, aren't they?
Probably. And this song is called The Last Human Sound. That's ominous.
That's what it sounds like.
I'll go ahead. I think I know they're going to sound like. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like her.
Can seem to hold. We're all gonna drown in you.
They're gonna crave. I like it.
Yeah.
Can't see. Crumble and rise, keep on.
Doesn't remind me a lot of Susie.
Yeah, a lot.
It's crazy.
It's a little deeper, but it's like the same sort of. Yeah.
We can repair the damage done.
Just gonna go through this one more time. And this is gonna kick in on the chorus or after the next chorus.
I think after this.
It just depends on how sad they want to make it.
Yeah.
Beneath the vengeful sun.
You're right. Oh yeah, I've definitely heard that before. Okay, so she dropped almost a whole octave when the song kicks in. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Because they're playing really, really, really low down. So for her to stay up in that high range, I was like, is she going to stay up there? Because there's
The
gonna be
whole
a big old
time?
gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she comes down to match him. That's really cool.
This is fun. So Limp Music is an anti-label that exists as
I seen that.
as an excuse for
Yeah.
myself, a former member of Australian sludge band Lint, to push my bands and sometimes the tunes of my friends. I like that. I wonder if
What other bands they put out.
Well, it's like a similar ethos to Gem and the We
Yeah.
Empty Rooms guys. I wonder if they. I mean, you're Australian. Do you know each other? I know, but I know that's so stupid. So, do you think Negative Crepe is a direct reference to Negative Creep? And if so, how bad do you want to hear it?
It is, but I doubt it sounds anything like the song.
Yeah, I kind of do too, but now I got to find out. It's I'll say right now my favorite Nirvana song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh.
Negative Creep.
It's a pretty fucking good one. That's,
Yeah.
that's definitely top 5.
Yeah, it's so fucking dirty. So it's like before it's before he had any pop aspirations, I think.
Was it on
There's
Bleach?
one.
Yeah.
There's one they put on a split 7-inch with a Jesus lizard. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, the Guilt.
Scissor Sisters.
That's it.
The Guilt.
That's my. Oh, the Guilt.
Oh,
That's
the
my
Guilt.
favorite. Yeah, that's a great Nirvana song.
I'll have to listen to that. It's not. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
familiar.
really good. It's like early Dave Grohl's. Or actually, yeah, I think it's early with Dave Grohl, but it's like, just super fucking heavy.
Do you know? You must know. You would know Negative Creep if you heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's listen to
Bleach is my favorite album of theirs, actually.
Negative Creep.
No, sir, that is not the same.
Let's tune the fuck down.
Joke working title that stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. You know what she's doing? She's doing like if Maynard was a lady.
Yeah?
That like some of the...
I was just thinking, it sounds like the one girl from Evanescence if she wasn't so fucking whiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. She's doing that. He does that voice crack from one note to another.
Yeah.
Like in like the middle of a phrase, like shelter will go up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, she's got a great voice.
I really like this.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right. It's probably going to get big here in a minute.
You think so?
Yes. As tuned down as that is. Whoa. Good God.
Go back.
Listen to that production. Listen to that bass. That bass, it's hollow, but you feel it. It's like it is there, but it's like almost like ghostly, and it's just so powerful. That's a really cool production right there.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
We're jamming. Good job.
Hey, we're like
Good
we're
job,
batting
guys.
100 for Australian bands.
Yeah. Australian
We have
bands
not
are
had a single one on that has not been good.
killing it. All right. Good job, guys. I echo your banner. All right. Then the last submission we have is by a very on-the-nose band called Devil Worshipper.
I wonder what this is about.
From Portland, Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
We got that very much looks like slapped together.
Yeah. Someone grabbed Dracula clip art.
All right.
Yeah.
Silver Dagger. They didn't give us a song title, so let's see.
Oh, and their record cost $6.66.
Oh,
That's evil.
they are Devil Worshippers. All right. Silver Dagger is 10 minutes.
Before you, oh God. Honeysuckle Griffin.
Drinking Blood is
Members
2.5 minutes.
Featuring members of Skeleton of God and Cannibal Corpse. I hope it's not that one guy.
Oh no.
This is interesting.
It says featuring members of Skeleton of God, Cannibal Corpse, and Fawn Limbs.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse had the dude went to prison for having a house full of guns and explosives, right?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah. He's
let's check the names.
It's probably just some guy that filled in on drums for one tour.
Probably a good guess. All right. Well,
I like how they don't listen to the band, but they sure as fuck will tell you what their merch shirts are made out
of. All right. So their landing song is Drinking Blood, and it's 2.5 minutes. So let's just go there.
Drinking Blood.
I gotta start off with
Is that a bubbling cauldron?
Blood. A bong blood.
Blood bomb.
That's a band name.
Bong blood?
Blood bomb.
Blood bomb. There's such a thing. It exists.
I don't know where this is going at all.
Give it a minute.
Did you move forward?
Maybe this is an intro.
Yeah, is this just an intro?
Or an outro. It's the last song.
Oh, it's the last song?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be an outro.
So they got a landing on that. Alright, that's good. Let's try a different
It's
track.
an outro, yeah.
I'm interested.
Fuck.
I was just going to say, this sucks.
My curiosity with Devil Worshippers, my curiosity peaked because they make their shirts out of cotton. Now I got to hear what the music sounds like.
What?
They're them cotton shirt guys.
It says it on the thing.
Really?
It advertises their shirts. It's cotton polyester blend, so they got to be good.
Silver
Wow,
Dagger, Drifter.
A 10-minute song. Let's go for 5.
Yeah.
519.
519 into Radiation
the
Wave.
remaster of that one, yeah.
Good thing it's the remaster, because the original version, the master was all fucked up.
Maybe.
What is life?
I don't know.
Wait, do they have a year on their shirt?
There's
What?
a year.
Yes,
They have a
2020.
year on their shirt.
Yes.
I don't think
I don't
this
know
was a touring drummer with Cannibal Corpse. I think it was a guy that played with them one time at a show.
They're saying haunting psychedelic garage. I'm really getting more of a kind of trying to be my life with a thrill kill cult.
Yeah, I was
not quite
definitely
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has that kind of they're wanting to be electronica, but since they can't afford the gear, they're calling themselves garage and doing lower fi.
Yeah, is there a song anywhere? Does the first song start out?
That was one.
Are there riffs?
I don't think so. I don't think that's not part of it. Sounds like shoegaze.
This sounds like somebody's home project to
I
me.
bet they have. Oh, unless it's a home project. I was gonna say. I bet they put on a great show.
Either that, or it's a situation where it's a bunch of guys from those bands that are established enough where they can put this out.
Just put whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Nothing I would probably pick up.
Yeah.
I would honestly. I would if I saw that they were playing at a venue. I would go. I need to go see this.
Oh yeah.
Do drugs and
I need to go witness this.
Yeah, but burning. Dumpster fire curiosity is this is the same thing as
100%.
I mean, I'm not gonna say. There are bands that I have seen that are horrible bands, but there's stage shows you go just to witness what is happening on stage.
All right, so the last one is a Bandcamp pick, and I will tell you that this is unprecedented. I did something I've never done before, JD.
Did you buy it?
I read the description, and then I bought 2 copies of the record, and I didn't listen to it at all.
Just by the description?
Yes.
For real?
Yeah, so this was in a Bandcamp article, and it was described as Nashville underground trio Yautja make their Relapse Records debut.
Relapse, there you go, yeah.
Their new album amalgamates metal, punk, and noise rock into a ferocious
they had
hybrid.
Scott Evans on it. And fucking electrical audio too. Yeah,
Yep.
so this is gonna sound good.
Electric audio. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's Steve Albini's studio in Chicago.
Where did you read that?
It's right here.
Oh,
He's
God.
He's got a 50-inch TV,
Jeez,
man.
I was gonna say I'm not even that far yet.
Motherfucker can see everything.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's like it's this. The words are this big. Like what you guys are seeing is a billboard to me.
All right.
The cover art
It's cool cover art.
intrigued me. I did a quick search, and the name is something from Alien or Predator, I believe. So this little creature
Yeah, I can see that.
that's there
Yeah.
somehow.
It's really cool cover art.
A really colorful oil painting or acrylic painting. It's just none of it is what you would expect.
I don't think the medium matters, but
Well, no, but
I'm
like
joking.
it doesn't look anything like what you would
So
expect.
have you still not listened to it yet?
I haven't.
So
So
we're
fuck,
gonna
pick
witness
some.
this for the first.
First
Pick
time.
some. Let's
I mean,
fucking
that's
do
kind
it,
of the
man.
point of the show.
Two
but-
copies of this coming my way already.
Should we just
let's see
listen to
if
the
I'm-
first track?
See if I'm going to be jealous of you for buying records or if I'm going to watch you experience buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's find out.
Immediately.
The song is Clock Cleaner.
I already like it.
It's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. They got to be East Coast.
No,
They
they're from
gotta-
the South.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
It said they're from
Tennessee. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Tennessee.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
Dude,
it has that sound. Like there's something about there's a difference. There's a stark difference between metal east and west of the Rockies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a like out here everything even when you get into the more progressive, the more hard heavy bands, there's still like an air of LA and Hollywood to everything. And out there is this. It's brutal. And just being, the way they're playing they're doing that great syncopation on the end and then bringing it back on the one.
Yep.
To, and like, looking at the picture, I like can imagine seeing these guys in a shitty fucking like rental hall.
Yeah.
If you showed me this picture and said, "Would you want the record?" I'd say, "Yep."
Oh yeah.
Like they just look like they just make some like what we just heard. I mean,
Yeah,
that is exactly what I would expect from this picture.
I've had those dudes sleep on my couch so
Yeah.
many fucking times on the back of the window,
Yeah.
like coming through on tour.
Yeah. This guy right now is like he's coming to the sad realization about what's happening to his hairline. I love you, buddy.
But you've been there.
I'm a bald man.
Just get rid of it.
My head is shaved. No, I
I
fucking.
don't know though. I think he just has a high.
It's so
Look
so
at all that hair.
luxurious
Yeah.
everywhere else that it doesn't fucking matter. No, I love it.
No.
You don't listen if you're watching this. You don't listen to him. You fucking do you.
You do you.
You do you. No,
you.
it's fucking great.
No, it is. It's glorious.
I love
That's
it.
what I mean. Like this is like the most imperfect group of human beings standing in a bathroom, and I want to listen to the music they make.
Yeah.
That's 3 Road Dogs right there.
Yeah.
They tour a lot.
You know who those guys remind me of?
Who?
It's different outfits. That's Toke.
Yeah,
It's like
different outfits.
Toke's
yeah.
like more
Totally.
more
Black pants,
spice.
leather.
and-
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you completely different mentalities too.
Toke is
completely different.
they're like they're North Carolina, right?
Yeah, they're from
one of
they're from the south too. Yeah, North Carolina.
Toke? I thought Toke. Oh, I'm thinking of Harsh Toke. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
Harsh
Harsh
Toke
Toke.
is Toke is like that. Is like the.
Wrong Toke.
Have you ever heard Toke? Toke?
Yes.
Hey, look. Sometimes
so.
we get bands mixed up here. It does happen.
Yeah. I can't believe that's so strange that would happen.
You have wait. Have you heard Toke?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, I feel like Toke is a band that you would like because it's that deep, down-tuned, fucking sludgy stoner stuff with those hardcore
honest,
vocals on top.
To be honest with you, I personally am not into detuned at all. But since that's what everyone fucking does,
Yeah.
you kind of. Me personally, I'm like, if you can't make it fucking heavy and E standard, you can't make it heavy. Like that's how I feel. But I'm a cocky asshole about that shit.
I don't disagree. Here's my response is, it's because you have so many bands who have bass players who are guitar players who don't understand how to use bass. I got those frequencies.
Well,
I have them all.
That's part of it. And I mean, it's something that I don't like. You can do it well. There's a million bands out there that are doing detuned sounds really well. It's just like ever since Helmet detuned one like half step or one step down, it's been like this fucking race for the past 25 years. Who can play the lowest possible notes? And it's like at a certain point in time, it loses its musicality. It just becomes like the tuning is heavy, not the riff.
Not the
what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And,
and
it's a little bit of a cheat, but I just mean like it's
I don't
hard.
think it's not a cheat. It's just one of those things where like everyone's doing it, and it lost its specialness.
Yeah.
Because when you hear a band detune, you're like, okay. But like for like back in like if you heard the first time I heard Thor's Hammer like detuned like that playing Doom like in the 90s, I was like, oh my god, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. And now I feel like, no offense, every band you're gonna bring up is gonna be in A, they're gonna be in B, they're gonna be playing, or like thankfully these don't sound like 7-stringers. That's what I have against 7-stringers. That's all well and it's all well and good. I'm just saying it's become such a common thing that I when everyone's doing it, it's kind of like, come on, someone, and then eventually there's going to be this resurgence where everyone's going to be like, oh, check it out, you can play this guitar in E standard.
In E standard,
like, that's fucking crazy. Why would you do that?
Look at these weird chord shapes.
and then it'll be a race to see who can tune their guitar the highest.
Yeah.
And then once everyone starts playing fucking 5-string ukuleles and shit like that, it's gonna come back down.
Back the other way.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just like I said. I mean, good tone is good tone.
Yep.
And like it doesn't matter. Like good riff is a good riff. It doesn't matter if it's detuned to be heavy, or if it's standard. It's just about, like I said earlier, the person playing it, and if they believe in what they're playing, and they can make you believe what they're telling you with their notes.
Yeah, and that's why I prefer alternate tunings to just low tunings in general, because alternate tunings just give you different chord shapes, different open notes to ring out and stuff. But I just mean like if they're tuned down to A, what the fuck do you need me for? Like I have those frequencies already.
You know why a lot of bands do this shit? They'll do the detuning things because no one's worried about vocals anymore.
Yeah.
And like when I started doing Monolith, that was the first time I had to pay attention to how I was tuning my guitar based on what my singer was capable of doing, which is the way things used to be. Like Van Halen was detuned to match David Lee Roth's baritone.
Yep.
That's just how they had to do it. And Eddie Van Halen made fun of David Lee Roth when they fired him. He's like, now I don't have to detune my guitar anymore. And they did a bunch of shitty records to Sammy Hagar, but that's the point.
So now, what's tuning?
Tuning is like...
I'm kidding.
He's kidding.
Tuning.
Tuning.
It's just the guitar, a 6-string guitar, generally speaking, is set up to be a mid-range tenor instrument, right? So when you're looking at that's what it's designed for. That doesn't mean you can't go lower or do different things with it, but a traditional guitar is designed to be a tenor instrument. So when you play in the tenor ranges on a guitar, you get a better natural sound out of it. They make guitars like
the baritone. You get a nice little baritone there.
A baritone.
Yeah.
which is a huge, obviously
It doesn't look
quite
like a saxophone.
quite a bit different,
Yeah, and it sits in between a traditional bass and a traditional tenor guitar.
And that's what I use. I use that for my heavy shit because it retains string tension. Like guitar sometimes. Anyway, this is getting really.
Musicians are gonna love this.
No, this is good.
episode.
Well,
Yeah.
So what's the is the baritone is in E standard?
Oh fuck
still?
no, hell no.
What's it
no,
in?
Baritone's, it's like in B.
It's in D.
Because the I think it's the third. So what would be the D string on a baritone is the E string on a
Gotcha.
guitar.
So it's just more strings on the.
It's got two little bitty bass strings above it, basically.
Yeah. What's the gauge of the D of the thickest one?
Fucking D's thick, brother.
Like 50, 45. No,
probably more like in the 60s, honestly.
Yeah, because like a typical 4-string bass, the G would be like a 45 or 50. The D would be like a 65 or a 70. So
the best way I can explain it. Sorry, going back to it. When you hear someone's natural speaking voice, right? If my natural voice is right here, if I try to sing out into a different note that's either higher or lower, it's going to have a different timbre to the quality of my vocal cords, and that's kind of the same way guitars are. So if you have a guitar that's set up to be a tenor instrument and you're tuning it down a whole lot to be able to get into a baritone or bass cap territory with it, it's going to sound cool, but it's not going to have the same kind of bite that like a baritone will have or a bass will have, because they are just designed to carry those tonal frequencies more. Yeah, nerds are gonna love this shit.
Nerds are gonna love it. Hey, we do this. We do this on occasion.
Yeah.
Just depends on who we got.
No, completely.
Everyone else fell asleep like 5 minutes ago.
No. Everyone else is just me.
Only JD.
But what I was saying, like with a lot of these bands that detune, when you listen, like okay, Night Go was a really cool example of detuning, but still writing to the vocals, and the vocals writing to this, and there's still a big gap between that detune and her singing, because she was still singing like a low alto. She wasn't going down into bass territory at all.
Mm-hmm.
But most of these bands, they're yelling and screaming and like kind of yelling in key sometimes or whatever, and that's cool and all, but at some point in time I just kind of got to the point where like, and not necessarily clean vocals, but I want the singer to be an instrument. I want the voice to be the missing instrument, whether now it can be a guitar or it can be a drums. You can do anything you want with your voice. It can be any instrument that you want it to be, but it's just a lot of times, like the what was it, 10,000 whatever?
10,000 years.
10,000 years. That guy's like that guy. He was just, they're having fun with it, but he's just yelling. He's not even going for it, like trying to sing anything, and that's cool. That's punk rock. That's what it's about. Getting out there and just screaming your heart out. But when it comes down to, musicality, then sometimes the idea of using a voice as an instrument gets lost, and it just becomes, okay, which one of you assholes is going to sing?
Yeah, we run into that a lot. I will say, I think that's the thing that really grabbed us about Cavern Deep is that here's a band that's playing, everything's detuned as fuck, to the point where I made fun of them at first because you can hear the string slapping on the frets.
Oh, wow, so they got that chord tone.
But then there's two singers, a baritone and then like a straight bass. So
that's cool.
So the vocals complement the super detuned sound so much in a way that you don't, like when he started singing, we were both just like, whoa, what the fuck? Because we've heard stuff tuned down that far, but not complemented with the kind of the vocals.
And you see that's cool, because that's not something everyone does.
Yeah.
And as much as it's cool to hear, the same guitar tone, the same kind of structuring, like I say that I'm 100% guilty of making music like that, because I literally just rip people off left and right. Like even when I'm writing my own, like if we were to listen to that Monolith song second per second, I can tell you every riff that I'm ripping on.
That you stole from.
Yeah. But the trick is you steal from enough people, it starts to sound like your own thing.
Yep.
So we are all we are all the culmination of our influences as musicians.
Even like the well understood greats. I remember somebody interviewing Matt Pike either for Luminiferous or for the last record, and he basically said what I did with each song was I picked one guitar playing hero, and then I wrote a solo in the style of that hero for each song separately. So
that's exactly it.
Yeah, so you can hear whichever song you listen to, pick it out. I'll tell you which of my heroes I was aping when I wrote the solo for that song.
What was the last record called?
Not Luminiferous.
Well, I've been kind of shifting more to like doing YouTube content, and one of the things I do is just guitar playthrough videos. But when I play the guitar, I understand how to get the same kind of sounds out of my hands that most of those guys are getting, so I know how to play it and make it sound just like them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's like doing an impersonation of someone, like you're getting it so close to the original or whatever. And that's kind of how the whole Nugent thing came about.
Yeah, I was going to say coming full circle.
Yes.
Yeah,
back to Nugent.
Because I was like, I can make a record sound just fucking like his records, just fucking like it. And that's now that I have. So yeah.
Yeah. If you like Matt's style, and from talking to Carl about the early days with Matt and High on Fire, they were just copying Tony Iommi. That full chord vibrato isn't Matt's invention. It's like it's all over Sabbath, but when you hear his particular version of it, it doesn't sound. Yeah, it doesn't sound exactly like Tony. So it's like he took it and then he like.
Well, it's because he's got flesh fingertips for one.
Yeah. My dad sat
Tony
next to him on an airplane once, next to Tony Iommi, and was telling when I was a kid, telling me flying to Hawaii, I think, telling me I sat next to this guy. He's in some band and he was showing me his fingers, and he like has other skin stitched on his fingers. I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, and different instruments, different everything. Like a lot of people, when they will they'll go after the Black Sabbath sound, they assume that you use a SG with humbuckers through Marshall. It's like no, he used an SG with P90s on it, like that, like little things like that. And then but if you play an SG with humbuckers through a Marshall, you get the High on Fire tone.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. The humbucker through Marshall, whatever. So a lot of little interpretations. But then again, Tony Iommi got the vibrato from somewhere else, and that person got it from somewhere
else.
I think we need to start like a new. Maybe it could be part of our Patreon, and it should just be Ask Jeff and Doug, and like musicians can come on and just ask for advice.
History lessons. No, don't do it. We will. I'll steer you in the wrong. Yeah, go to school.
Stay in school.
I've always been like a relentless deconstructor.
Yeah.
Like I want to understand.
Absolutely.
I want to understand how shit works.
Yeah. And I do a lot of my own production too, where I'm recording all the instruments and I do all the tracking, all the engineering, all the producing, everything. So when you get into that, it's all about details. Everything is, and the more detail you pay attention to, the better you are at it. In my opinion.
Yeah, and you see the people who are really good at all of that stuff, they can pay attention to all those details, but it's like muscle memory. They've done it so many times.
So we can hear 30 seconds of a song and tell you everything about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, or a good producer can do in 10 minutes what at the beginning of his career would have taken him 10 hours to do, because he's just got a bank of details and quick access to all of them, so fast.
Absolutely.
So cool. All right. Well, shit, we've talked for a long time. I just looked at the clock. So what do you have coming up? Are there shows happening in North County and San Diego? Is there shit going down?
I've been producing my roommate's band. Is called the Spice Pistols, which is exactly what you think it is.
The Spice Pistols?
The Sex Pistols and the
Spice Girls and the Sex Pistols? Nice.
Or is it a Dune thing?
No, it's the former. But I just got done. We've been doing their record, so I helped them out producing that record, and I think I'm going to be doing drums for them on their tour. They're going out with Ancient Orange in September, I think, something like that. And then that's happening. Monolith I'm supposed to remix our entire back catalog, which I'm so excited to go through all those files again.
I'm sure.
And I keep telling myself this time it's going to sound good.
Wait a second.
Our full length, it wasn't that great. But anyway, that's going on, and then just working on the singer that's doing the Alexandria Ocasia Nugent with me. We're at the point now where like we can just do other bands too, and every time we mock something, we'll just come up with a fake band name. So we're just trying to create content. Like I'm just staying busy, just trying to do as much production as I can, for as long as I can, and try to get people to pay me to do it, so I can just do that full time.
Yeah.
But
that's
always, pretty much it.
It's always about the hustle with all of us in the underground. It's like, how many hats can you wear? How many roles can you fill? How many jobs can you do?
Yeah, honestly, I thought about trying to find a foot in the door to record karaoke music, because I'm like, I can do it. I can make it sound just like the original without the words.
That would be amazing.
I'm saying, like, do ghostwriting where you do versions of famous songs where you Vanilla Ice it and change like one note. So they can get around licensing and use it for their ads.
Yeah,
all sorts of little shit.
I knew a few people who have like dedicated a lot of time and energy to doing covers and then producing like sound-alike original music for like B, C, and D movie soundtracks and make a fair living at it. Just like.
I mean, at the end of the day, like the only thing all I really care about is whether I enjoy what I'm working on and if I'm proud of it when I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And anything that comes beyond that, it's great, but I'm not doing it for that. Like, if people like the stuff I put out, awesome. I don't care. It makes me laugh. So, that's what it's for. Because I learned you learn early on in the game that if you're in this for the money and the fame, you're a couple decades late.
Yeah, exactly.
So like so you gotta find another source of motivation. And mine is like, hey, if I can make myself something to listen to on a long drive, I'm stoked.
Rad.
Nice.
All right, so I guess we can wrap it up there. Doug from Monolith, not Monarch,
and Call of the Wild,
yeah,
not Monarch,
and Alexandria Ocasia Nugent.
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting to the point where I'm just a free agent. You just say Doug Walker.
Doug Walker, free agent, free agent, man of mystery,
musician,
gun for hire.
Gun for hire.
Awesome. Well, it was Killer. Sorry we had to cancel on you.
No, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, behind the scenes, the night that I was like in the worst throes of my vertigo attack, we were supposed to record with Doug, and I laid in bed and I sent like 3 messages. One was to my work, and I was like, I'm super fucked up. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be around tomorrow. Like,
don't count on
Don't
it.
Call me. Like, I'm not going to be working. And then one was to you and one was to JD, and I was like, I just can't do it. Like, I can't even get up. So
yeah, no, it's all good.
But I'm glad we were able to reschedule.
It works out. Yeah, it works out too, because I actually have a setup now. Before I would have been on my phone the whole time.
Oh man,
good.
So,
nice.
Now you got that sick ass TV for our paid Patreon episodes that people will pay us at least 50 cents for. I'm sure.
I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to develop some 15-minute segment videos for YouTube, and I've got some pretty good concepts, but I'm not gonna share any of those because I want those ideas for myself.
Yes.
And when I do, I'll send them to you though.
But let us know, and then we'll send you all the listeners.
Are you do you know Francis Roberts from Old Man Wizard? And
we're not tight, but
he's done a killer job in the last year on YouTube.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah,
he's been hustling
so hard and producing really good, interesting content. I think that's he's a good guy to follow, and nothing's blown up, but he's like gradually edging his way up to 1,000 subscribers, which is where you hit partner status, and you can actually then
you make the big bucks.
Well, you don't make the big bucks, but you open yourself up to the opportunity of like having the knee in the curve where you can go from 1,000 to 10,000. Like it requires that. It's a very rare person that goes from 0 to 100,000 subscribers because of one video. That's the myth of YouTube.
No, that's just viral videos that are accidents.
The thing I love about producing shit on YouTube is you only have to be good once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once it's done and it's good and it's up on YouTube, you're done with that project. You don't have to perform it again. It's out of the way.
And you move on to the next thing. Yep.
Because I always say, if anyone ever asks me what the favorite thing, my favorite record I've ever done is, I always say it's the next one.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's killer talking to you.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I'll be
sure.
down your way at some point here between
I learned a lot.
visiting.
I'll be up your way.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming through NorCal. I'll let you.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll let you know when we're coming.
Yeah, hit us up.
For sure.
Awesome. Killer does.
I appreciate you. Yeah,
Thanks for your
having
time.
me, guys.
Thanks for blasting through so much music with us.
Yeah, no
So
worries. And I'll get you the recording.
Oh, perfect. So listeners, we will have clean local audio for our guests, which is always appreciated. So killer. All right.
You can hear my air conditioner. All right, guys.
Oh no, I got the
Thanks,
I got the AI driven denoise plugin to get rid of that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect.
All right, man. Have a killer night.
Have a good one.
All right, guys.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Take it easy.
Later.
All right, you too.
That was fun.
Are you awake?
I'm awake.
We put JD to sleep.
I didn't see. I couldn't talk a lot, so I just had to make dad jokes. It's like all I could do. I just needed to squeeze them in there every once in a while.
Dad
joke. Dad joke. Dad joke.
It's like the dad joke sniper.
I am.
Yeah, no.
Look out.
Doug's another one of those just like, hardworking, exploit every side of it. He didn't talk about some of the other stuff that he's been a hired gun for, but for some pretty big bands.
Yeah.
And but he doesn't talk about it because it's not that it's interesting while they're paying you and while you're doing it, and then when it's done, it's not like something to hang your
job.
Yeah, it's not something to hang your hat on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was great. We got some good music.
yeah, tons of good music.
I'm glad
Lots
you
of
brought that
interesting-
Yautja,
right?
because that's good.
Well, in here, and I saw for those of you on Bandcamp, I will very rarely encourage you to go around Bandcamp, but if you really did like that Yautja record, if you'll notice, I'm going to share my screen again if you're not looking at YouTube. If you notice, what they have available on Bandcamp is this nice purple record, which is fine, right?
Which is fine.
It's fine. And then you scroll down to the bottom and you see
I'm gonna like them on Facebook.
you see, oh, they have this really cool yellow splatter that's all sold out.
Ooh, I like that better.
On Bandcamp. Yeah, well, Relapse still has copies of the yellow one.
Ooh.
So if you buy it directly from Relapse, you can get the sweet yellow record. Just understand that these records here on Bandcamp are probably the band's allotment, and they probably get all the money
that's true.
for those. So
But
I'll
those
find
yellows are so cool.
yeah, well, I'll find another way to support them. But no, I really dug them, and I'm excited to go back and listen to the whole record. That artwork is so sick. I love this little alien guy.
It's super cool.
hiding in the artwork. So awesome. All right, you got anything else?
I don't have anything
ready
else.
to call this a day?
Can't wait to listen to this Yautja though.
Yautja. As always, tell your friends.
Tell your family.
Submit music to blindsub@gmail.com.
Yes.
Love the direct submitted music.
And it
from
doesn't
bands.
have to be metal. Like,
Whatever.
I would prefer it not.
Any kind of
like, just send us music.
yeah, any kind of music. If you got any kind of crazy projects going on, no matter what genre they are, we will listen.
Yeah.
We will attempt to listen. I mean, shit, 39 episodes, an average of 4 submissions per episode. So we're at
music.
closing in on 260, closing in on 200 underground bands that we've given a spin and talked
That's a
about,
lot.
and in half a year, a little bit more than half a year.
We are gonna have to do a top list.
Yeah, September's creeping up on us too. The 1 year anniversary is definitely creeping up on us.
That's when we gotta do something special.
Something big.
Something big.
And also, hey, we've been doing these episodes on Zoom because that's what we can do in the pandemies. But hey, we went up to San Francisco last night, separately, 2 different events, but happened to both be on the same night, and did normal shit.
Yeah.
Normal, regular people stuff.
I still think Zoom might be easier, but
for some things, it's definitely. But no, I'm looking forward to doing some filming, some in-person episodes. Yeah. Well, I mean, not just because, but because we have full control of the audio that way.
Well, I think we'll be a sponsor at Psycho next year, so we're gonna have an exclusive booth.
2022
podcast from the pool.
Well, I heard they're gonna pay us.
Yep, you're gonna pay us to be there.
It's like a 2 minutes to late night situation. We'll be on.
Yeah, we're way up there.
We'll be on that weird stage that's right in the middle of the casino at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, that's what people want to do is watch a live podcast.
They do though.
I know they do. They totally do.
Fucking,
I realized that after I said
my favorite murderer selling out 100 cities in a year.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, and we're just like on the charts. It's like my favorite murderer, and there's like Rogan.
Yeah,
and I think we're
Conan.
like 4 or 5. Yeah, Conan needs
right
a friend.
up there with them.
Conan needed a podcast. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Well, now his show's over.
Except he's funny as hell, and actually really,
he's my favorite.
I really
love Conan.
I enjoy the podcast
So
because
endearing too.
I love his assistant Sona, and then Matt Gorley, who's they brought on as producer, is a podcasting legend and is super funny. Good dude. All right,
love it.
What else we got?
I don't think we have anything else.
All right, send us stuff. Subscribe to YouTube. We are, we're not putting a lot of effort into promoting YouTube, but the audience and the listening hours are what's really shocking to me. And so we're actually putting quite a few miles on YouTube. If we had more regular subscribers instead of people just dropping in, hitting the link and listening or whatever, we'd hit the partner threshold for YouTube, I think, without much trouble in a year. Damn bro. We
put a lot of like short videos up on YouTube. Sometimes we'll share them on Facebook and YouTube, but a lot of the shorter videos of sort of just the funnier moments.
Yeah.
Like us playing the wrong band this evening.
2 weeks in a row.
I'm expecting him to recognize it. Recognize that? No. Nope.
But the funny thing is he would recognize it because that's his buddy.
It's his buddy's band.
Casey Trask. But Casey's such a shredder.
Still,
actually, both
so
guitarists
funny.
in that band are fucking shredders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Not brain farts, like brain diarrhea. That was like the explosive brain farts is what those were.
It's coming out of this pandemic, man.
Yeah.
Either that or it's our shots.
Well, I mean, and I don't want to blame things in general, but my head is still kind of on the fuzzy side for the last couple of weeks. I have trouble concentrating on more than one thing at once, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's caused me to have to slow down and pay attention a little bit more.
Old man brain.
Yeah, old man brain. Accelerated by a lovely explosion of ear nerves.
Yeah.
Exploding ear nerves.
That's my punk band.
Is it? All right. And with Blood Bong.
Ooh, Blood Bong.
Why
is he still in the waiting room?
Oh, we'll kick him out when we close it. I'm sure he's off doing something else now.
Well, you know what this has been?
This has been another episode of
Blynd Submyshynz. Blynd
Submyshynz.
Gross.
We out.
Thanks for joining us for another week of Blynd Submyshynz. See episode description for links to all artists discussed in this episode, and visit their sites to support them directly by buying music and merch. Share links to the podcast or YouTube videos with your friends, especially if they're in bands. Bands, if you want us to listen to your music on a future episode, please submit one song to blyndsub@gmail.com. That is blyndsub, blyndsub@gmail.com. Bandcamp links preferred, but not required. Find us on social media at Blynd Submyshynz. Full video episodes are available on our YouTube. Remember, we go in blind, so you don't have to. Blynd Submyshynz.